Hey, it's Bag of Trixx here, and I'm bringing you another deck profile. This time it's on Mermail Atlanteans, aka the deck that goes to game 2 in one turn, aka the water deck, aka Big Blue, whatever you want to call it. This deck is super fun. If you don't know what it does, definitely check out the live stream. I always do showcases, I always do duels with the live streams, or with the decks on live streams. Very fun. And let's just go ahead and get started. So you already saw the first card. It's Neptibus, the best card in the deck. It is your +2. If you don't know what Mermail Atlanteans do, you definitely should check out the live stream. But Neptibus, for those of you who do not know, this card, when it's summoned, or it's not even when it's summoned, you can just send an Atlantean monster from deck to grave to add an Atlantean from deck to hand. So all of the Atlanteans have the effect that an effect activates when they're sent to grave to trigger a water effect. So Atlantean, its other effect is when it's sent to graveyard to trigger a water effect, you can special summon an Atlantean monster from your grave. So typically, this is your go-to turn 1 play. You always want to see this card. We have so many ways of summoning it. We gotta have this card. And then we also run, for the level 2, we do run 2 Atlantean Heavy Infantry. We never normal summon this. Like, yeah, it does give us an additional normal summon, but that never comes up. This card, when it's sent to the graveyard to trigger a water effect, it targets a face-up card your opponent controls and destroys it. Very decent. Then we do run 2 Marksmen. This one, unlike Heavy Infantry, this one targets set cards. That's all you really need to know. When it's sent to graveyard to trigger water, targets a set card your opponent controls, destroys it. Its other effect, when it does piercing damage, you special summon an Atlantean, level 4 or lower from deck, but that never comes up. And then 2 Dragoons. If we had this card at 3, oh my gosh, just imagine if we had this card at 3. Dragoons, when it's sent to the graveyard, you add a Sea Serpent from deck to hand, except itself. So typically, you'll summon Neptibus, you'll send Dragoons, Neptibus' effect will add Dragoons, and then the Dragoons in graveyard will add a Mermail Abyss Megalo, and then you just do the combos from there. Oh, it's so dumb. This card is so dumb. And this isn't once per turn. This is however many times you send it to graveyard to trigger a water effect. That's how many times you can do it. It's so dumb. But that is it for the Atlantean engine. I don't run Poseidra. I haven't found success with that card. But on to the others. We do run Triple Abyss Gund. This card's pretty good. When it's discarded, it's probably the best one out of the little Mermails. This one, when it's discarded, you target a Mermail in grave to special summon it, but you can only use it once per turn. It's just a name, a level 3 name. We do run Triple Abyss Lind. This card's decent. It's the floater. When it's destroyed and sent to grave, you special summon a Mermail from deck, except itself, and you can only use this effect once per turn. It's just a name. That's really it. For the level 4, we do run Triple Abyss Pike. This is probably the best normal summon for the Mermails. This one, it's just when it's normal summoned, or special summoned, you can discard a water to add a level 3 water from deck to hand. So typically you'll discard whatever to add Mermail Abyss Gund. That's pretty much it. Like it's whatever. 1 Turge. It has the same condition. When it's normal or special summoned, you discard a water, but this one targets a level 3 or lower water in your graveyard and adds it to hand. So it just recycles stuff. But these 4 cards are really iffy. You can change these for whatever you want. I was in one variant. I took out 2 Abyss Pikes and I took out 1 Abyss Lind for triple Drowning Mirror Force in the main deck. Just because I was like, this deck, if you cannot commit to a board, you usually just want to set a Drowning Mirror Force and pass. Like, that's it. But that is it for the little Mermails. Onto the big Mermails. You're in Triple Abyss Teus. To special summon this, you discard a water. So you discard 1 water. So typically, if you have this, you'll discard the Dragoons that's in your hand to special summon this, and that triggers Dragoon's effect to add another Sea Serpent from deck to hand, and this doesn't count as a normal summon. So and then also you see, that's where you see the synergy there if you are not familiar with Mermail Atlanteans. But its other effect is when this card is summoned through that effect, it adds a level 4 lower Mermail from deck to hand. So typically what you'll search is Abyss Gund, because that's the best Mermail that's level 4 or lower. And then the best one, triple Abyss Megalo. This is the reason that we run the deck. This card, it's a Sea Serpent. It is searchable by Dragoons. To special summon this, you have to discard 2 waters. And then when it's summoned through this effect, you can add an Abyss spell or trap card from deck to hand. So typically, you'll add Mizuchi, which is the equip card. And then also what its other effect is you can tribute a face-up attack position water monster you control, and to make him have 2 attacks. So if you have a Neptibus on board, typically you'll go normal summon Neptibus, send Dragoons, add Megalo, and then you'll have another water in hand to special summon Megalo by discarding the Dragoons and whatever. And so you'll search Moon Glacia and whatever the other one is, and then you'll use Megalo's effect to tribute the Neptibus to give him 2 attacks, and then Neptibus, because it was sent to graveyard, to trigger a Water's effect. You will special summon the Dragoons from the grave. It's so dumb. There are so many combos with this card alone. But that is it for the Mermail engine. And then the last 2 monsters that just spice up the deck. One is Deep Sea Diva. This is probably the best card in the deck, because when it's normal summon, you special summon Neptibus from the deck. That's all you need to know. And then 1 Moon Glacia, because it's searchable by Dragoons, because it's a Sea Serpent, and on top of that, you special summon it by having exactly 5 waters in your graveyard. And when it's summoned that way, you rip 2 cards out of your opponent's hand and send them to grave. That's it. That's all you need to know. This card's really, really good. It does have a condition, though, like you can't enter your battle phase if this leaves the field or something the next turn, but it doesn't matter. But by the time you summon that, you should have game. And onto the spells, it's a whole lot of monsters, but then again, this is Mermail Atlanteans, you gotta run a lot of monsters. Onto the spells, 1 Upstart Goblin, you have to play it. It's a combo deck, you need the 1 Upstart. And 2 Murray of Greed. This card's so good because it lets you draw 3 cards by returning 2 waters from deck to hand. So typically, if you open up a Dragoons, you wanna shuffle that Dragoons back into the deck, so that way you can draw 3 cards, because you don't want to open with Dragoons. You want that in the deck so you can send it with Neptibus to search. And that's it for your draw cards. Onto the special summon cards. 1 for 1, this gets to your Neptibus as quick as possible. And then 2 instant fusions, ignore the common. 2 instant fusions, because this will special summon Norden from your extra deck, which is very, very important. Norden is a key card in this deck. But 3 instant fusions clog, so we only run 2. And then the 1 Soul Charge, because it's, skill charge, troll charge, whatever you want to call it. This card's disgusting. If you resolve this, you win. Like, there's no coming back from that. And then 1 Raigeki, just for board wipe, because, it's Mermails. They OTK. Like, you go to game 2 in 1 turn. Like, that's how this deck works. Like, either you kill your opponent, or they kill you in 1 turn, because you didn't summon any monsters or something. Raigeki's very important. And then the last card, the Mizuchi, because it is searchable. This is searchable by Megalo, and when a spell effect is activated on your opponent's side of the field, you negate that effect mandatory, and then this will go to graveyard. It also gives Megalo an attack boost, which is decent. Then the traps, 1 Abyss Sphere. This is also searchable by Megalo, but this just special summons a Mermail from deck. The effect is negated. You can't activate any spell cards, but when this card leaves the field, that monster is destroyed. And then after your opponent's next end phase, when you activated this card will destroy itself, which will destroy your Mermail. So typically, what you'll do is you'll special summon Abyss Lind from your graveyard, because Abyss Lind is the searcher when it's the floater. So 1 of that. The card's it's just way too slow, but you have to run it at 1. Then the other trap card is Triple Solemn Strike. You gotta play this card, this format. Oh my gosh, as long as we have this at 3, we're gonna play this at 3. I debated on either Solemn Strike or running like Drowning Mirror Force or Quaking Mirror Force or something, but I found more success with Solemn Strike. So that is it for the main deck. It is 40 cards. Extra deck includes the 1 Abyss Strike, Mermail Abyss Strike. We don't special summon it by using 3 level 3s. We special summon it because we have Bahamut Shark. And Bahamut Shark this card's going to be super, super good once Tree Toad comes out. There will definitely be an updated list on this deck once Tree Toad comes out. Because you can make Tree Toad with Bahamut Shark. Bahamut will special summon Abystrite, and then Abystrite, it doesn't really do much, honestly, but it's a 2800 defense, which is decent. One Bahamut. And then we do run one Hope Woven Dragon Spider Shark. Gosh, it's a long name. But this one, during the battle, when your opponent's monster, or any monster, declares an attack, you can detach a material from this, and all monsters your opponent controls lose 1000 attack. And when this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target a monster in your graveyard and special summon it. So, Hope Woven, it's a floater, and it's a 2600 beater that requires 2 level waters, which is really, really decent. On to the other rank 4, we do run double Abyss Dweller. You have to play Abyss Dweller because it's part of the combos, and you will use both each game. Every game, you will always use 2, most of the time. Like 90% of the time, you will use both Abyss Dwellers. And that's it for the rank 4s. On to the rank 7s, we do run the 1 Mermail Atlantean. This just says level 5 or higher monsters cannot attack, and it can negate all face-up monsters your opponent controls once per turn during either player's turn. So really, really good. You got to play it at 1. 1 Flare Metal. This card's just phenomenal in the deck because this deck does so much damage. If somehow your opponent does not die, you can just go into Flare Metal and just like let them kill themselves, which is so powerful. 1 Draco Sack. This card is only in here temporarily until we get Tree Toad, as well as Big Eye. Like, these 2 cards never come up. Once Tree Toad's in, probably take out Big Eye and Draco Sack, or if I don't take out Draco Sack, I'll take out Big Eye and Abystrite for 2 Tree Toads. But that's it for the rank 7s. On to the fusions. We do run the 1 Norden, because we only have this at 1. If we had this at 3, we'd run 3 copies. Norden just special summons a level 4 or lower monster from grave. So typically you'll go Norden, special summon Dragoons, overlay for Abyss Dweller, and then use Abyss Dweller's effect to detach the Dragoons, and Dragoon's effect will activate to search a Sea Serpent, which is, you know, that's really decent. There's a combo that you can do with Norden and, Instant Fusion and Neptibus, which is super busted. But onto the Synchros. We do run the 1 Baby and the 1 Daddy. I actually just noticed the other day that these are literally the same monster, just one's grown up. Just kind of interesting. Tatsunoko lets you Synchro from the hand. It's also a tuner. Coral Dragon's also a tuner. And this one triggers your water effects, which is really cool. And you can, it just lets you draw a card too, which is cool. We do run 1 Stardust Charge Warrior. You draw a card on summon. It never comes up because we do have Tatsunoko and Coral Dragon, but it's there just in case. 1 Trish. This deck easily makes Trish, and even though we only have 1 tuner in the main deck, you can make Trish, and Trish is so good. So good. Banish whatever. And then 1 Leo, just because we can make Leo, and it's a 3100 beater, which is very, very crucial this format with Blue Eyes running around. But guys, that is it for the entire deck. Side deck's personal preference. This deck, it has trouble facing against Blue Eyes, because Blue Eyes is just such a powerful deck. The fact that they all have 3000 attack is super dumb, but what are you going to do? Anyway, guys, that is all for the deck profile. If you enjoyed, make sure you leave a like, tell me what you think, and if you want to see more, please check out the live stream, subscribe to the YouTube channel, all that stuff, and yeah, I will catch you guys in the next video. Later.